It's a shelter on Maple Avenues. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Give a get CERN, Jake, Tavon, 5, Dalton, and Ted. And to all the other niggas that got love. Y'all boys experiencing this life. Tell yourself you're never gonna give in. Nah. Feel like Martin Luther King. Young nigga had a motherfucking dream. Visualizing money over the seas. Young Prince, mama always told me that we did the damn game. Folks had to get it, we dodged the same thing. Niggas tryna live it all. Gonna go and get it, never gonna give it all. You going through the same thing, you gonna feel my pain. Tryna hang with the gang, I don't feel the same. Watching all my niggas tryna make it through the maze. I'ma do it for the team. Like I'm hard and clutch up shooting threes. I'ma do it all alone.
Yep, good. What's up, man? We back with another one. This is TWT Podcast. We're here with Steadman Bell. I'll let him introduce himself.
Man, Steadman Bell, born and raised in Dixon, 80s baby. Old man.
Yeah. All right, we'll jump straight into it. I put this in the beginning because I wanted to make sure that whoever watched this seen it, and I want to bring some awareness to it. I don't know much about it, so I can't speak a lot on it, but I'll let Steadman speak about it. I do have the shirt, if y'all see.
Yeah.
The Scholar Rose Foundation. Like I said, I don't know much about it, so I'll let him speak about it.
No, it's all good. Man, the Scholar Rose Foundation. So my wife and I, we were blessed to be pregnant. Actually, it started basically 2 years ago when we found out we were pregnant. We went preterm labor with our baby girl at 22 weeks. And the chances of survival was like literally one out of a million chances of survival at 22 weeks. And so we actually, it's kind of crazy. So Skylar, she was born March 5th, 2021. We didn't even know we were having yet. So we were having the gender reveal on March 6th, so the next day. So we had no idea. Yeah. So March 5th, man, I was at school and my wife, she was getting her nails done and all that stuff, getting ready for the gender reveal. And so I'm at school. She calls me like at 11:30, and she's like, "Look, I'm having sharp pains and all that." And I was like, "Well, it's part of pregnancy, I guess." We didn't know. So she's like, "Nah, it's a little bit different." So she called her OB, and her OB was like, "What's the pain scale?" And she's like, "Out of 1 out of 10, it's like at a 9." She's like, "Oh, you need to go to triage."
Yeah.
So we went straight to the hospital, man, and did the ultrasound and checked the heartbeat. The baby's heartbeat was perfectly fine. But what happened is that Britt, my wife, she was in full labor, like she's already fully dilated.
Yeah.
And so at 22 weeks, that's not supposed to be happening. You know what I'm saying? So went to emergency room and everything, and come to find out, like she was like we have to deliver Skylar today. And so my sister-in-law, Mackenzie, she lives in Kansas City. She was on a flight here to Nashville, getting ready for the gender. And she was the only person who knew what we were having. She was the keeper basically. And so when she flew in, she got to the hospital right in time for us to get ready to deliver Skylar. And Mackenzie, she was crying, bawling. She's like, "Do y'all want to know what y'all having?" And I was like, at this point, I don't even care. And so she's like, "It's a girl," and like the first name, it was actually the last name like on the list of names that we have, baby names, or Skylar, but it was the one that stuck out because it was the last one we put. And so I was like, "Oh, Skylar Rose," and they was like, "All right, let's get it." So we had Skylar, man. She survived on her own for about 10 minutes, and so like I said, premature. I had her. Britt was in the emergency room getting operations done. She lost a lot of blood, so she had 2 blood transfusions, and so there was a chance of like Britt actually dying too because all the blood that she was losing. So they took care of Britt and all that, and I had Skylar in my hands, and so Skylar technically was alive in my hands and died in my hands at the same time. So I was at ease, and a lot of people was just like, "Man, how can you talk about this?" I'm like, "Man, I'm at ease." You know what I'm saying? It was definitely unfortunate, definitely traumatic, but the fact that we were able to deliver her fully intact, at 22 weeks, man, you don't know if it's limbs, what's going to come out, you know what I'm saying? So we did that, man, and the grieving process was different, for both of us. For me, sports has kind of got me through, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on.
Yeah, for sure.
Sports kind of got me through everything, and so for me, I just had to go out and just be active, and that kind of got my mind off of a lot of stuff. But we started the Scholar Rose Foundation. Essentially probably about a few months after. We were just sitting there thinking, we had a lot of support from our from the outside families, National Christian where I work at and teach and coach at, and Vanderbilt. She actually works at Vandy, and so they had, GoFundMe and all that stuff to just kind of help us out. And so we was like, we got to give back, you know what I'm saying? So we started the foundation with the help of all that. And it's basically helping and supporting, like, families who deal with, with child loss and infant loss and everything in that sense. And so we help them, give them support, send them to, counselors that they may need. We give them, we got gift boxes that we deliver to the hospital. Because you never know what you need, and so so we're there to help out as much as possible. So that's the foundation, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's big time. That's great. I'm glad that you're able to go from your experience and help others that are going through the same thing. I think that shows a lot about you, your character, especially a wife, man. I don't think I had the pleasure of meeting her, but I would love to meet her, man. She sounds like an amazing woman to go through that and still be able to give back. That's big time for sure. There is a link, right?
Yeah, man. We'll. Can we put that in?
I'll put it in the description. I'll put it in the description so whoever sees this can go support. I'm definitely gonna support. I do got the shirt now, but I'll definitely give back for sure. I'll do my part. I encourage whoever else sees this to go support. That's big time for sure. That's not easy. I don't know exactly what he went through, but I know it ain't easy. And you're a true testimony to still be here and be able to talk about it.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we were able to. Just hit on it briefly, but now I know like the full story of it, and I can kind of so I can tell whoever I know.
When you click on the link, man, it'll go to our website, and it'll show like donation, volunteer, all that. But you can read our story. So basically, our whole story leading up to Scholar. So it's a whole backstory with infertility. So basically, the struggles of getting pregnant, like that's a common thing that we don't know about. So we talk about all that, and so it's something that for me, being a man and being like super involved and active, I never thought about those things of like people not being able to get pregnant. Like so, it gets deep. So I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, I've always wanted to say like click on the link below.
Yeah, click on the link.
I think y'all having a pod, and I wouldn't invite.
Keep it.
You better not be recording
really?
me.
Can you go out the other door, please? Thank you. Dang. And can you put that bottle back?
69 years old and them steps ain't good.
Oh, they're bad steps.
Dang, that's crazy. That is crazy.
You editing that? You gonna edit all that?
Maybe. I might keep some of it, but I'm gonna edit some of that.
That's funny. But click on the link below.
We'll definitely put the link in the description. Make sure y'all click that for sure. Move right into it. Childhood. I don't know much about childhood. I met you. I was like what, probably 15, 14.
I mean, 15? I knew you. I actually knew you from when you was with the Dolphins and everything. I mean, the Lions, the Charlotte Lions and all that. Like I knew you and all that stuff. Of course, I knew your mom and everything. And so, but I didn't like officially meet you until you got a little older. I kept up with you in middle school and stuff, and then like when I came back to Dixon and coached. So man. So my childhood, I actually played for the Lions. So I Coach Maurice. So we took it back, man.
Old.
Yeah, he old.
He's old.
He old, man. So I played with them, me, JP, Kurt. I mean, it was everybody. Isaiah. It was a lot of people, man. That was the fun times, And so I missed you. I kind of missed Junior Pro just Saturday, you know what I'm saying? And so, man, it's crazy. I actually bounced around a little bit. My mom, single mother, up until for 10 years. It was just me, and then she had my little brother, and I was jealous. Like I was like, man, I've been this has just been me for 10 years, and then you bring this little dude.
Split the attention and all
man.
that.
So my little brother Dorian, man, he's actually living in North Carolina right now. She had him, and my mom passed away. So my mom died whenever I was 11, and then so me and my little brother Dorian got split up. So he got into foster care, and I was adopted by Coach Satterfield and his family, and so. Ever since then, that's kind of been my parents really, you know what I'm saying, since then. And so it's crazy to think that was, golly. So I was 11, what am I, 32 right now? So it's 21 years, that's 21 years of, that's my life, basically. And so, just being able to, to be blessed, to be brought up with them, and to live underneath them, and then have my little brother Jaden and Jordan, and so, that was kind of like the brother I got to see because growing up, I didn't, me and my brother split up. Yeah. And so I was able to see Jaden and Jordan like grow up, so that's always been a blessing. But my dad's nowhere in my life, you know, and so he has 6 other boys out there, and then me. So I'm the oldest of all my brothers and sisters.
Oh,
so I'm the
crazy.
oldest. Yeah, I'm the oldest, man. So, but it's all good though. You know, I don't you know, despise my dad or anything like that. You know, he is my father at the end of the day. But you know, it is what it is. So. But yeah, man. So when I was in middle school, man, I lost my great grandmother all within 2 years. So my grandmother was murdered, and then my mom died. So with all like in a 2-year span. And so when I go back and look at my mom's like when I go to the cemetery and look at the tombstone, and I look at those years, I'm like, dang, like that's a lot that took place.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that happened. And then you were young, too.
Super young, and so that took place. And you know, I think that's why I was able to, like, so going back to what we was talking about earlier with my daughter, like, it was super tough, but at a young age, like, I don't want to say I got numb to it.
But you went through it.
But I went through it. So, you know, so I went through it and I understood that the world keeps going. Like, it keeps spinning. You know, it's not stopping for nobody.
It's not stopping at all. Time's not waiting on nobody.
Time waits for no man. And so, I was able to just kind of utilize that throughout life, you know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna go through stuff, man.
Yeah,
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? You're gonna go through stuff. So that's a little bit of my childhood, and you know, grew up, played for Dixon County High School. So that was like a dream of mine. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, playing for junior pro and all that, and playing for Dixon Middle School. Yeah. And it's like, man, I want to play for the Cougars. You know what I'm saying? And so. Was able to do that, so you know that's a little bit leading up, and I want to segue. I want to.
No, you got it. But so what was it like? You know, Coach Sat. Obviously, I know Coach Sat. Yeah, he's been there for me a lot. So what was it like? You know, being adopted into Coach Sat's family.
At first, when I first got adopted, I was kind of I don't know. I was just kind of I was quiet because I was like, I don't really know them. I know them from coaching, but I don't know this family. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. Once I realized that they treated me just like they treated Jaden, who came a little later on after I got adopted, I was like, okay, cool. So, man, he's just a great dude. You know, he's a great guy. To this day, I still call him Coach Sat. Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, me too. I'll never call him anything else.
It's always been Coach Sat. He's allowed me to do that. Coach Sat and Miss Tab, and so Miss Tab's my mother. So it was definitely a great experience to have them in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because they're family oriented. And everything in that sense, and he's a coach, and so all we did is talk about ball. So so it was
talk for days.
Talk for days. Yeah, he can definitely talk for days. He should start a podcast.
Yeah, he should.
So it was cool, man. They took me in, and even till then, I think whenever my first year at my college in Oklahoma is whenever they finally took me off their phone bill. That's when I was kind of mad. I was like, dang, man, I got to pay for my own phone now. So, man, but they treated me like I was their blood, and like she gave birth to me and everything. But it's been truly a blessing. And they still, and even now, I'm about to be 33. You know, they still able to help me out if I need. Like when we lost Skylar, man, they did so much. Which that's their granddaughter, and I get it. Yeah. But it just still feels good to have that comfort.
To have that, because when you turn 21, 22, everybody like, oh, you grown now. You grown now. They could just be like, hey, you on your own, like, bye. But man, that's good. Coach Sat, he's been there for a lot of people. Me, I can speak for me. He's been there for me, in times, sports, but even in life, like life lessons. He's given me a bunch of them. I still to this day talk to him about anything. I'm open with him. He's an overall great dude. The family is great. Granna, all of them. Yeah, they're all good. His brother, hey, one thing about that family, they can talk.
They gonna talk.
You plan on going in there for a 10-minute conversation, it'll be 2 hours. You get up out of there, you like,
you gotta map out your day. You gotta plan out your day, man. Like,
that's
put a little window in there. Yeah.
A little, that's a big window. That'll be wild. So would you say that sports kind of helped you, through those times, middle school?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Whenever, it's crazy, and Coach Sat and them and Coach Reagan. So you had Coach Reagan, right? You didn't have Coach Reagan?
No, I think he retired a year or two.
You're lucky. You're lucky. No, so it's crazy. So when my mom died, we was all up here at Horizon Medical Center. And the next day, I went to basketball practice. Like, and Coach Reagan was like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, man, I just got to do something normal. Like, being around my teammates, my homies and everything, who all eventually later came to the, they came to the funeral. And so sports has literally been like my go-to, you know, and so it helps out in so many ways because it teaches you like, the mental toughness and everything and all that. But I think that's the biggest asset that sports has done for me is just being mentally tough because you got to keep going. You know, you get knocked down, you got to move to the next play. You get jammed up as a receiver, you can't worry about that. You got to go to the next play. So
it's over with.
So it just kind of keeps you. It helped me to just kind of keep moving and keep things going because life goes on, man. Them bills, they don't care. The electric bill, they don't care if you they do not care. So, so sports has definitely helped me out since I can remember. You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't know. I thank God I haven't went through anything like that just yet. But eventually, you know, like you said, people go through things, and sports were kind of my outlet as well. I started, I think, a little later than a lot of people. I don't think I started playing sports till like 8, 9.
That's probably me too. I think I was like 9 or 10.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody I'd be talking to, they'd be like, "Oh, I started like 4 or 5." I didn't. I started, I think, maybe 7, 8. Yeah. In that area for sure. So it was kind of like an outlet to me. I was just always running around doing something. For me, it was basketball, so I picked up a basketball and ain't put one down since. So that's been a love for me, and I could say that, you know, sports were kind of my go-to as well, going through it and just using that to cope with whatever I was going through. Like I said, not anything that deep, but just other stuff, just life that, you know, I have been going through, high school days like that. So what about as far as coaches? I know from the list I sent you it wasn't, but coaches, like other than Coach Sad, were there coaches that helped you along the way?
Man. I would say, I mean, of course, Coach Sad is because he's was my coach and like my father, like growing up. So that was huge. Man, I would say, as crazy, Coach Fuzzle. I don't think you didn't have Coach Fuzzle. So Coach Dennis, Coach Fuzz, man, he was my defensive backs coach in high school, and man, he was a legend. You know, you heard. Well, of course, I heard about him growing up and all that, and just seeing him, but just the way he made me work, like I like that. You know what I'm saying? He challenged me to be to be. He said, I don't care anything about college and all that. He said, but if you're gonna play high school, why not try to be the best high school player that you can be for your team? And so, like that right there, just kind of stuck with me. You know, going through high school, and Coach Fuzzle definitely had that huge impact on me. Coach Hamilton, Eve Hamilton, even though she didn't coach me, but I just see the way she loves and connects with her kids and everything like that, and she always showed love to me, you know what I'm saying? So the whole Hamilton family is just kind of, you know, it's kind of been some people that I've looked up to and admire, and just love to see the type of connections they built with their you know, respective athletes and student athletes and everything. And so I would say those are the two main ones. One of my newest ones over the last 6 years since I've been at NCS, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, is Coach Brothers is kind of like, he's our head football coach there. He's a BA guy, played at Vanderbilt, coached at BA, coached at JP2. He coached Golden Tate at JP2.
Oh, okay.
And so and so just kind of how he is as a coach, as a father, as a man of God and all that. I've started to adapt to that and just kind of see how he operates. And so he's really been showing me the ropes and everything. And so he's another dude that's kind of helped me out. And like I said, when we went through the whole, you know, the loss of our child, like he was the first one, you know what I'm saying, to kind of reach out and make sure we was good and taken care of. He told me to stay away from ball, stay away from everything until, you know what I'm saying, get your mind right. So those 3 or 4 people right there kind of have been my little, I guess, help, you know, throughout this time. So.
Well, we talked about everything as far as sports. You know, kind of on the outside. So let's talk a little bit about sports. You know, so you played football, basketball. You played baseball too, didn't you?
I played baseball for 1 year, man. I played for 1 year.
I played for 1 day.
Oh dang! I played for I say 1 year. I mean, I guess one baseball season, man. It was literally the year I got adopted by Coach Sack. You know, he was a baseball coach, Coach Roberts. And he was like, either, you know, you got to do something in the spring, either baseball or track. Well, I wasn't doing track, you know what I'm saying? So I did baseball. I tried out, didn't even think I was going to make the team, but I mean, they just used me to run, so I was a pitch runner. But so I did baseball, basketball, and football, and ran track as well. So
So you were more football, huh? So what positions you played in football?
Man, in high school, all the way up to high school, I was a receiver, free safety, and played a little QB. JP was the main dude, but if he ever got out or whatever, you know what I'm saying, it'd be me at QB. And then in track, I did the 200, 4x1, 4x2, and the long jump. And so basketball, I was, in high school, I was about this height anyway. So I played 1 through 4.
You've been tall since I knew you.
Yeah, 1 through 4 is basically, 1 through, I could play a little 5 if I needed to, miss them out.
Small ball.
Little small ball.
Warriors before the Warriors.
Yeah. So yeah, but football was definitely my main, sport though.
All right, I got a little article here. You say that you were football.
Yeah.
But I got a little article that I just want to read just to give.
He going through the archives.
Yeah, I just looked up class of 2008, right?
Yeah.
6'3", 170.
Yep.
And this is supposed to be an ESPN analyst.
Yeah.
Steadman is a quality two-way player in high school. We project him at safety. Oh, maybe it was football.
Yeah.
Possesses great size with his tall, lanky frame. Still got that. That shows good upside for adding bulk. Uses his long body to provide adequate to good range, covering the deep path transition smoothly. Yeah. And then it goes on. But, that's just brief. That's just to give a little context to Steadman, back when he played football. I thought it was basketball for some reason. But, like you said, football was his main sport. Yeah. So football, you play what? I know you played quarterback.
Yeah, so QB and receiver and free safety. But, in Dixon, we ran the ball 98% of the time. And so I was like, man, I need to fall in love with defense. So Coach Fuzzle, who was my DB coach, he's like, look, man, look, I know you want to be a pretty boy basically and catch the ball. And it's like, man, but defense is where it's going to be at. And so I grew to love being safety. And so I was able to cover, longer, taller safety, and I was able to, cover more ground and all that. And so that's where I fell in love. I was like, because Dixon, man, we went throwing the ball. We was running. So I was like, man, I'm over here a blocking receiver, which is cool.
Yeah.
I played tight end a few times, too. So I was down. I had 3-point stands, man, the smallest dude on the line. But anything to be on the field. I actually punted, too. I was a punter my senior year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I punted my senior year. So I did it all. I did everything I could to be on the field, man. I hated sitting on the sideline, even when we were up. But I get it. You want to be up, and then you want to put those other dudes in that didn't get to play a lot. So, so football was my thing, man. That article, was about rivals. I took Trevor Brand. You remember Trevor Brand?
Yeah.
So I took him up to Louisville with me on a visit. And that was one of his first visits, man. And I remember it to this day. And one of the little sports writers, little dude from Dixon, I wouldn't even think about anything. So he came up and interviewed me and all that. And then he put that together. I remember that article. So that's pretty cool, man. So I honestly, man, looking back at it, from the football standpoint, I actually messed that up for myself. You know what I'm saying? Just from the grade standpoint, you know what I'm saying? I was University of Memphis is where I was going to sign to. But just from my grade standpoint, man, I was just doing enough just to get by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they allowed it. It was like, oh shoot, you eligible, to play football on Friday.
So it's okay.
Yeah. So that was on me, and I know that's one of the other little questions you're gonna have, something I could go back and do or basically look into or whatever when I was back in my playing days, and that would be it. That's why I'm so hard on the kids now about the grades, man. Academics is everything.
Yeah. See, that's what I always ran into. I think I spoke about it in the earlier podcast with Trayvon. You don't see it, go watch it, episode 1. But Trayvon, me and him talked about it, and he, D1 school, and I went to a small school, and it was just you run into guys that are just I'm going to go play D1, I'm going to go play D1, I'm going to do this. But you're failing at a school, okay, I went to KCU. I don't know if I said that or not. But at KCU, and it was just, classes there were not hard.
Yeah.
High school might have been harder than KCU, honestly. But I mean, you ran into some teachers that were harder than others.
Yeah.
But if you just did the work, and we had a few resources that would help you out, you might not be the smartest kid. I don't think I'm the smartest kid, but I have decent grades. I have, you look at him okay, he tries and he does his work. And I don't know. I don't understand guys who are, I want to do this, play football, play basketball, whatever sport you want to play, and just don't want to go to class and do the schoolwork. Yeah, you might hate it or whatever, but it's if you really want to play, you will do that. So everybody you look up to that's playing professional had to do the same thing that you're doing. They had to go to class too. And I know you run into a few that, might have had a little help here and there, giving grades, whatever. But majority of them, have to go through the same classes, take the same, I ain't gonna say the same test, but just majority of the same thing overall. So definitely, and it's student athlete was what I was always taught.
You're a student first.
Yeah, so and they put student first before athlete. So and I know in school for us, we went to school before we even did anything football wise. So you're in school first, and then you go to sports.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's kind of how ours was. But in the spring, it was different though, just because everyone's schedule was completely different in the spring. And so in the fall, you can they fix your schedules up because of everybody got games and all that stuff. And so, but no, to kind of piggyback off what you said as far as the grades and how high school was a little bit more challenging just than college. Like I had better grades in college than I did in high school. Like. That was so I had way better grades in college. Like I was able to utilize my resources, like you said, and I understood like, dang, I really want to play. Like I ain't trying to be sitting at home and not catching the bus whenever they go and travel. So that's one thing I don't get either. It's like you say you want to do this, you say you want to do that, but you ain't putting forth that effort. You know what I'm saying? So,
like your actions is not matching your words.
It's not
like
matching
it's
at all.
that. I don't know. I think about it, and it's just like I don't get it. Like I just don't understand. And then I don't know. Because then it those same guys are the guys that have all the talent in the world.
All the talent, man.
And it's like
that's what they relying on.
If I had that talent with my mindset, like my brain, it would be like I would be okay. Like you said, from the rivals, just a few. We spoke about it briefly. Yeah. Interest, your school interest from when you were coming out. Louisville. Mm-hmm. Middle Tennessee, Tennessee State, Virginia Tech. Those are just a few. I don't know. I don't think they're all of them because, like you said, Memphis.
Memphis was on there. They came a little late, and then some. I guess it was still OVC back then. So like Tennessee Tech and UT Martin and all those were on there as well. Okay. But yeah, it was a cool time, man. I just wish I would have really locked in more and focused more on it, from the athletic side of things. Like I was just enjoying high school. Don't get me wrong, like I love nothing like Friday night lights. Like the Friday night football was love. You play college ball, I play college ball, and Saturday sometimes it'd be hot and those Saturday afternoon games, man, it's like what? And so but then what I tried to do was in my mind I was like, man, okay, it's Saturday. Like, how can I really enjoy? I know it's a college and all that, but how can I really enjoy this? So I reflected back to junior pro days, playing on Saturday. It's like, dang, man. But the Friday night, man, the Friday night football was especially at a town like Dixon. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's coming to the games, there. Kids out there enjoying it, and it's just something that because I guess since you grew up watching it, it's like, man, this is what I really want to do. Yeah, so, and then
it inspired like the generation like mine. So then we coming next because I remember going and watching.
You was probably watching. Let me see. Who was
Sammy?
Okay, yeah. So that group.
So Sammy, Jake Horn,
DeMonte Daniels, with all them. Yeah.
So I think Sammy's years were I think his senior year might have been like my 7th grade year.
Okay, you got it.
And then my 8th grade year, it was Jake Horn's senior year. Okay. Did they graduate together?
No, was. I think it was a year apart. I think. I mean, I don't know. Everybody, so you got to think, like, when I was in high school, man, I don't even remember who was in middle school when I was in high school. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like, I don't even know. Man, that's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy.
But I know for sure Jake Horn his senior year was my 8th grade year because the year that they played basketball, that was the year that they lost, I think, sub-state. Mm-hmm. And I showed up to the game late. And it was nowhere to sit. Yeah. It was dumb. It was hot. It was hot in there.
I wish I would have came back for some of those basketball games. Though,
man. When they were playing, for sure. They that game was crazy. I've never seen the gym like that since I've been. Yeah. I can't remember. So obviously you said you played college, high school. So compared it to what was it like your college life compared to your high school life?
Man, I think college. So I went NAIA too. So he was talking about KCU. I went to a school called Langston University, and it's out in Oklahoma. It's a HBCU, and so KCU is you too, right? No, it's not. No, oh, you had a white head coach, right? Yeah, my bad. My fault. I'm thinking about Kentucky State.
Yeah, I think
is it Kentucky
one of them schools. I think.
All right, so no sir. So man, for me, I think college was more of a business minded. It was more of a business mindset. We saw a lot of no huge, not like coordinators, but like a lot of position coach turnover. So you seen a lot of different. I had two different receiver coaches, and the 3.5 years I was there playing. So like it was different. Y'all had that as well.
I had like 4 or 5.
So that was the business mindset, and the crazy thing is, and me and Britt was just talking about this the other day, is that before every meeting, our head coach, Coach Sanders. At first, it was my first head coach was Coach Mickey Joseph, who's now he was the receivers coach at LSU, so he coached Chase and Jefferson and all that. Now he's at Nebraska. Oh, wow. So that's where he played college ball at back in Nebraska. So it was like, I think it was a few years before like Scott Frost and all that. But anyway, so Coach Sanders would literally open up every single meeting that Langston University is an open marketplace of business. People will come and people will go, but our values remain the same. Yeah. And so you sit there thinking like, dang, this is really a business. Like so people going to be coming in and people going to be leaving. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's coaches, players, like he didn't care. Langston University. So whenever I seen that, I was like, dang, it really is a business. So I'd like transition to more of a business mindset as well, because I was like, man, like I'm trying to play, I'm trying to do this, so I need to take care of my grades and be on time for film. Need to be out there working, getting that extra work in. So I was able to do that. So in high school, I was out there with my boys, you know what I'm saying? And it came easy, you know what I'm saying? It was easy. And so I think that's the biggest mindset, because there's like, whereas, high school football team depends on where you play at, you could be the top athlete or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then go to college, everybody was a top athlete for the most part, you know what I'm saying? So,
everybody's the man. That's what they told me when I got to college. It was like, you were the man at your high school. Yeah. Now at college, everybody was the man.
Yeah, everybody's the man.
So, and that was the mindset. But like you said, it's a business, and I had to learn that too. That like you said, junior pro probably the funnest football I ever played in my life, because it was just about playing and just having fun, learning the game, and just like you said, with your friends and whatever, and you build those relationships, and then you get to college and you think about the differences, and it's you can't lose every game and still have fun. Nah, man. And if you are having, you can have fun like being out there, but it's not fun losing. Yeah. And you get older and you get competitive. Absolutely. You turn into an athlete, like a competitor. It's like, I don't like losing. So, but as a kid, you don't know it. You don't know any better. You just know you out there playing. And then you get, like you said, college is a business. So, guy, you said you had 2-3 coaches. I had 3-4 coaches. I had guys that were there. They would get there in the spring and leave. That's crazy. Before the spring left. Yeah, that's before the spring was even over.
I think that was the most crazy. That was crazy too to witness. Like, it's like, dang, he was just here. Like, you know what I'm saying, for spring ball. We going into summer. He ain't coming back. It's like, what? And so yeah, that is kind of crazy, man. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then like, I think as players, it kind of messes with your mental, because you get a new coach. You like, everything's brand new. So then you like, all right, I got to prove myself to this coach. Then you prove yourself. Then it's like, oh, we got a new coach. And then you got to prove yourself to this coach. And then it's like, it just keeps happening. It keeps happening. And like I said, the situation I had ran into is, coach playing favorites, whatever. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I guess. But, hey, whatever. I guess he gave everybody a fair shake if that's what he believes. But, but you run into stuff like that. And like you said, college is a business. That coach specifically, I'm pretty sure before he left KCU, he went through coaches under him. So he was the head coach, the OC, and the AD.
Dang.
Yeah. So he did all those. So under him,
how is that possible?
There was power. It's a small school. So and he's loved in the community. Oh, really? Like super loved. He's a great guy. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's a great guy. I love him as a guy, as a man. Yeah. Go talk to him. Great guy. All praise to him. Yeah. But I think under him, I would want to say he went through like 30 coaches. Like, literally, 30 coaches. And he was there probably 5 years, I think. Because he was there before I got there, and I was there 4 or 5, probably about 5 or 6. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. It's just crazy to think that it's a business. And then going into it, this will actually lead into my next question. Yeah. So transitioning from a player to a coach, because you coach now. So knowing that, like you said, college years, it was a business. Now you're going into, like, the actual business. Like, now it's not, preparing for games. Well, it's still preparing for games, but it's just different.
Yeah. Man, so I graduated college in 2015 and came back. And my first high school stop was coaching you guys. You know what I'm saying? So that was your junior year, I think. Yeah. No. Sophomore. You was a sophomore? So I only coached you. Okay, yeah, sophomore year. Yeah. All right. So coaching you guys, like, my mindset was coming back to hey, I still want to go out there and run routes with y'all because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, I'm fresh out of college.
Yeah.
But still being able to coach you guys up. And now my mind was like, all right, what are we doing to try to get these kids to go play college ball? Like if they want to go play college ball.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the mind frame because I was like, although I went to a small school, like I enjoyed the college football experience. Like, you know what I'm saying, the traveling, the meeting the people from all over the world.
Because it's way different than high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Way better.
So my mindset now was like, as a coach, is like, okay, what can I do? And it's still the same today. Like, what can I do to help these kids if they want to go play college ball? Coach them like they want to go play college ball, and then also understand the demand as being not only a great person, great athlete on the field, but also being a great person off the field. You know what I'm saying? And how you handle yourself. So that was kind of easy for me to adjust to, just because I was fresh out of college, and I wanted it for you guys. You know, the Jack Sensings, the Trey
Weedman.
No,
Grimes.
Weedman and the Grimes. Yeah, Trey Grimes, Trey Weedman, like all those Collier Walcott, and, you know, Jerry, God rest his soul and everything. And so,
for sure.
But there was a lot of talent on that team, and like Darian Burnt, like I was like, man, these kids, they got a chance to go play somewhere. I don't know. Everybody wants to play D1. I get it, Power 5 and all that. But man, college ball is college ball. Like,
you're blessed to even get to college.
to even get that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make the best of it. And so that was my mindset at an early age. Is like, man, I just want these kids to have the opportunity to go play ball somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so, but then, you know, once you get in, you try to balance it all out. So now I got to prepare as a position coach. You know, I haven't been a coordinator, which is, I think that's in the works. But so I've been only a position coach, so DBs and wide receivers. And so for me, it's been good just because I still stay active enough to kind of get out there and still show them the ropes and everything in that sense. And so, but now the preparation from, you know, game planning, you know, actually now, you know, how we do meals and travel and all that, like I'm involved in all that now. So it's cool to do that because it's like, man, I got a hand on how we going to operate, you know. So I kind of look at it as an operation, like as a game day operation. So I like that stuff, you know what I'm saying? I like being able to have that type of not, I want to say control, but just kind of empowerment to be able to do all those. And so,
that's big because you know, you run into some things like, you know, coming out, you might have been, you know, like you said, your first year with us, you probably just, you know, I don't know the background stuff, but just being out there, we gravitated to you because you were closer to our age. You were fresh out. You just been there, so you knew. So we were all, you know, us being young and who we were, we all gravitated towards you, and then not really the older coaches. But like now, like you said, just being in those conversations, like that shows growth in you, and then even, you know, just in sports like today, because sometimes you might just be a position coach and they're like, go, you know, do whatever. That's big. So the preparation, like you said, is way different. Now. So do you enjoy it now, like more now, or back when you were a player?
I enjoy it now because now I'm looking at a bigger spectrum of the game, of the entire game. You know what I'm saying? Of the game of football that we about to go play on Friday night, as opposed to just as a player, like, oh man, I'm about to route this dude up, or I'm about to go come down, you know, try to knock somebody out. But now it's like, okay, we got to prep against this type of defense. All right, now, you know, I'm a defensive backs coach, so we got to prep against this type of offense. So it's expanding your mind, you know what I'm saying, and your brain. And so just still trying to do that. And you learn something every single day, you know what I'm saying? You should be learning something every single day. And so being able to do that, but like to kind of go back what you said as far as, you know, most position coach, you just go coach your position. So like at NCS, they've been giving me the ability to be more involved in other things, and so that's what I love, you know, and I appreciate that for them doing that. So so just still trying to be, and you were saying as like, you know, with me being the younger coach whenever I first came to you guys in 2015, I'm still trying to be that guy, but you got to have that you got to keep the respect level. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to draw the line. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be hype with you and all that, but at the same sense, I'm still the coach. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
So I actually really haven't even had that issue. Some people who ain't even my position, they be like, man, look, so like a few years ago when I first got to National Christian, I won't say names and all that, but so I'm a receivers coach, and then like I have like the linebackers or whatever trying to not disrespect him, but like they're like, hey, look, he's a little closer to our age, so we gonna check. No, like I'm still your coach, but and matter of fact, I ain't even your position coach. Why you even over here? You know what I'm saying? So, but it's been that level of respect, man, and just being able to do that. I think the biggest for me, being a coach, is being able to coach Jaden, my little brother. So coach him for these really 5 years. He reclassified and he practiced with us the whole time, but being able to do that and just seeing, like you said, you was talking to him the other day, and just seeing his mind grow. So that's my biggest thing is like coaching these kids, like they have the athletic ability. Like that's them. That's given. You know what I'm saying?
It's the
mental. So how can we challenge them mental? And so he actually just sent me a message last night, like Stead, like I want to run this on the goal line. All right, talk to me. Talk me through why you want to run this.
Yeah.
And we talking. So if we can talk ball, that's why I feel like I've won as a coach.
Yeah.
Not won, because it's not about wins or losses, but I feel like from a mental standpoint, as a coach. So
yeah. I like you said, me. I've always felt like I was a little bit. I'm not gonna say more advanced, but I feel like I knew the game a little bit better than some of my peers that were around me at the time.
No doubt.
So like you said, I had the pleasure of being coached, and you had the pleasure of working with Coach Broadway.
Yeah.
Great guy. I think I spoke about him on the podcast. Yeah. I'm not for sure, but super intelligent about the game. He helped me see the game in so many different ways. And even when I was at college, like I would call him and just talk about the plays, and we would just talk. And it's just like I'm able to have those conversations, and I enjoy it because, like you said, it's like expanding your mind. Like
absolutely.
I'm an offensive guy. I can tell you that. If I were to ever coach, I would have to be on offense. Because I like manipulating the defense. The defense can never be right. Because anytime they do this, we're just going to do this.
You sound like Broadway.
Yeah. And so they do that, we're going to do this. I guess it's just from being and listening and talking to him for years that's probably why I sound like him. And then,
you had him for how? You had him 3 years or 2 years? Oh, 2 years.
So my sophomore year was the first year I had him. Junior year, and then they released him.
Oh, yeah.
Going into my senior year and hired Coach. I'm not gonna say his name, but
that coach.
Yeah,
I got you.
You know how that went. He was. See that it's just such a drop off, man. Oh man, don't get me started on that.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, it's just
Broadway does have and what we were doing, what I'm saying, like what we were doing, like with Jacob. I forgot about Jacob Murphy being a QB, like what we were doing on that high school level. Trying to, get that adapted to the Dixon culture. That's what everybody was doing. The RPOs and everything, and the post snap reads,
that's all you see now. If you're not running that, it's a problem.
Broadway he was ahead of his time for the system that he was working in.
Yeah.
That's not his fault. It is what it is. But that's why you were able to. And you probably got frustrated a lot at college because some of those receivers probably didn't think like you thought.
They didn't.
You know what I'm saying? You like how you. But you was embedded by Coach Broadway and everything. So, no, man, and that's how, and I could see that in Jay Satt's eyes sometimes as well. It's like, man, okay, my mindset is completely different. Yeah. But he don't go and gloating about it or anything like that. But I could see it, and I was like, okay. Yeah. But no, man, Broadway, that was my dude, man. That's my guy.
Yeah, he's a great coach, man. Shout out Coach Broadway.
Yeah,
I think I might see him later tonight.
Okay.
What we got here? So compare, coaching at Dixon to NCS. Obviously, you're a little bit older now. Yeah. So you got some years under your belt. So, just kind of compare it to, I'm not gonna say Dixon and NCS, but just your times at both.
Yeah, man. I think it's, and we can compare it just because of the level of, Dixon. We were like 5A, I guess, at the time, 5A. Yeah. And then, coming to Nashville Christian. So 5A, of course, is based, is based off of enrollment and everything. So we had so many kids. Yeah, we had so many kids at Dixon that we were able to, do more things. And so when you go to a small private school like Nashville Christian, it's you literally would be playing offense, defense, special team. You'll be playing everything. Yeah, you have to. But whenever I first got there in 2017, was my first year there. So 2015, coached with you guys. 2016, worked with Vanderbilt. For that year, for that fall season, whatever, and that was fun. I really truly enjoyed being right there with Vandy. So 2017, working at NCS, I realized that, man, all these kids are playing in so many different positions. I wasn't used to seeing that.
Yeah.
And so, but they wanted to be out there though. And so it required the condition, like everything was just so different. So the condition was
crazy.
completely different. You know what I'm saying? So, so going from Dixon to Nashville Christian, yeah, you're working with lesser numbers, but the kids out there, man, are just as, there's some athletic kids out there, some kids who really love the game.
Yeah.
But it's when we were my first offensive line that I saw, I was like, these dudes are old linemen? Like, like I weigh more than these dudes.
Yeah.
Man, and so like coming from Dixon, like, it's like, nah, man. But then it's just like, that's just how it was.
Yeah.
And so
kind of had to adapt.
Kind of had to adapt, man. And so many kids playing out of position, but they cared about the team first.
Mm-hmm.
So that made it that much easier. And so that's why the success has been what it's been since, especially since Coach Brothers has been there. But I think the community support, you still, you got that on both sides. Private school world is a little different, it's a little different, but we manage it. And so I think the overall involvement that Coach Brothers has given me, and even our new athletic director now, Coach Sick, well, he's been there for 5 years now, that the roles that they've been giving me, man, it's helped me out so much. And so because ultimately I want to be a head coach, high school head coach. And
that was my next question.
Oh, my bad. We rolled into it.
Yeah,
so being for them to be able to groom me into that and give me these responsibilities early, it's helpful. And so I'm already the head middle school. I don't think you knew that. I'm the head middle school football coach.
I didn't know you were the head. But I knew you worked a lot, like heavy with the middle school.
So I'm the head middle school football coach, going into my fourth year. Yeah, going into my fourth year as a head middle school football coach, and I try to run it and treat it as if it's a high school. Like, some people look at middle school like, oh, it is. No, like,
that's the foundation.
That's the foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and the parents see that. And I have my parent meetings and all that. I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to coach your kids, and I'm going to love them. Like, that's the first thing. Like, we're going to love the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we're going to coach them hard because we would be doing them a disservice if we didn't. So, so just the difference as far as, and I was young. I was only at Dixon for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So, being here now a little longer, going into my 6th year, being able to really get molded and kind of work and express my interest of what I want to do to the athletic director, the coaches, the head of school and all that. Like, hey, I want to be a head high school football coach. And they hear that, and they don't run from it, but they try to mold me to it. Yeah. So, some people be like, oh,
no.
yeah, it's like, man, you trying to be a head, oh, okay, don't talk to me. No, they invite me to do those things.
I think that shows Coach Brothers,
Yeah.
That he's like, he doesn't take it like you're threatening his job.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think that shows a lot about him.
Yeah.
As a guy, as a man, as a coach, and it might not be at NCS, but it could be somewhere else. But I think that's big time that he's helping you mold into the guy that you want to be.
Can I say something on this podcast?
Yeah.
So I'm be honest with you. One of my so there's 2 places I really want to be a head coach at. All right. One obviously is NCS.
Yeah.
And the other one's Dixon.
Those are only 2 places?
Only 2 places. Like, if I went back public school, Dixon County High School is. And I've been telling people that for a while, but I don't want to teach. NCS. So but Dixon is a place that I would love to be a head coach at, and you guys heard it here first on Tez's podcast. So,
So if you didn't teach, so say you go back to Dixon, and you didn't, if you had to teach, like it's ultimately what you just had to do, what would you want to teach?
Man, probably some type of, I'm be honest with you, man, I want to teach some type of
could you not do like PE?
A class. That's a hard position to get into because nobody wants to leave it. You got to think about it.
It's easy.
Coach Sad, Coach Roberts, they've been doing that mode for how long?
Yeah, years.
They don't. Yeah, it's an important piece. You know what I'm saying? Because the activity and being involved and all that in PE. But it's a gravy position. Like nobody, you in your own world.
Yeah,
like,
you're doing what you want to do.
You're doing what you do.
And
So
really, most of the time they just be letting kids go play.
Go play. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like my admissions position. I just walk around and talk. He just let them go play. But so it's a hard place to get into. But of course, PE, I would love to do that. You know. And so, but honestly speaking, man, I would want to get into some type of class where it talks more about I'm going to say a life class, but it's more about life. It's more about, the investment stage once you get older, you know what I'm saying? Real estate, like all those things.
Stuff that they don't really talk about.
Yeah, passive income, like how to do those things. And I'll be teaching myself too because I'm still learning. So I would love if they can create that type of position.
Yeah, to do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Personally, I think you should go and talk to, whoever, and try to implement that, especially in the Dixon, because I'm not remembering or using Y equals MX plus B.
Nah,
like,
man, we ain't using that.
It's crazy I said I wouldn't remember that.
But you just did.
But, yeah, it's just, man. I know in Florida, some part of Florida, they just, it was a couple weeks, maybe a month or two ago, they passed a bill or something where they had, like, to graduate, you had to take a class of something, like learning about something about finances.
About finances?
Yeah.
Man, that's huge.
And it's like, that's the stuff that we need to be learning, like you said. Like, I bet half the kids I graduated don't know how to write a check.
Oh, they don't. No, they don't.
It's just
man.
like,
I know people who are graduates, they don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? So So those are the things that I feel like that could be utilized and that could be well off. I mean, NCS might hear this and they might create a position like that. So
put you in your teacher role.
Position my teacher role, man. But yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I just wanted to let you know that I love to coach at Dixon, man.
Yeah,
it's my hometown. Like
of course. And I think they. Man, I ain't gonna lie. Me and you were briefly talking.
Yeah.
And I was telling you kind of like what I think the role I want to go into is like an AD.
As an AD, yeah.
Yeah. And I would love to come back to Dixon. I wouldn't want to stay here long term.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like I could put you in that position, and then we could work something out, and then just kind of build it all back. Because Dixon, man, when I played, I think they be playing Clarksville schools now, but like playing against like the Brentwoods, the Franklin,
that was crazy.
And you go and look, you compare Dixon to Franklin or Dixon to Brentwood or the Williamson County schools, and it's like, what's different?
Yeah,
they have. Like D1 facilities. And then their coaches and just the way that they're orchestrated is just on a different level. And I just don't know, like, if the people at Dixon just don't see that, just don't want to mold into that. But, I mean, I don't know. Don't quote me, but I heard they might be building a Burns high school.
High school, I heard that. I heard that as well. Yeah.
I heard they was trying to, make that into, like, the Williamson County. On
upper echelon of the
high school. And if
that
happens.
So, I'm already, my eyes are already open, bro.
Ears
are open, eyes are open. So, nah, man, that's just something that I want to do. Like, and there's people out there in this world who just don't mind being assistant coaches their entire. But I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to.
Nah.
But yeah, man. But yeah, so
I would want to be the head of. Coach, look, coaching's just not in my eyes what I would like to do, personally.
Yeah.
Maybe more like a trainer. I could probably train a few kids,
okay,
but I wouldn't coach them. Like, even though I think I do. I don't know. I might go OC someday, because I would, like I said, I'm a.
You want to manipulate,
I just want to, just kill the defense.
You be up there in the lab, like. Oh,
I would be in there, like.
That's how that is.
And like you said, I've been around Coach Broadway, and it's just, I think he molded that into me. Like, I wouldn't mind sitting there and watching film for hours. It's like.
It's beautiful.
Like,
like how you can get over on these dudes.
To kill and like put up 60 points, like that's just football. Now basketball. I still wouldn't coach, but I would love to. I would be on the sideline coaching, but I wouldn't want to be in that position to actually coach. So, but I guess this is the last thing. Something I want to implement. I always try to do something different towards the end. I think Trayvon, I asked, like Trayvon, the first 2 episodes I did, like music. Favorite music. So what you listen to? We'll get into that.
Man, I listen to. I'm more like J. Cole.
Yeah.
That's really the main guy. Of course, Wayne, like some of the old Wayne, some of the new Waynes with him featuring things and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, really just J. Cole is what I ride out to, man.
J. Cole is tough. I like J. Cole, man.
Yeah.
Because there's days, like I do a lot of driving. So there's days, like if I'm not listening to like podcasts. There'll be times that, you know what I'm saying, I'll find, just whatever artist I want to listen to and just click it and just listen to, like.
No doubt.
But I've been big into 80s. Well, no, not 80s. Early 90s.
Okay.
And, like, 2000 rap.
Okay.
So, like, of course, everybody knows 50 Cent.
Yeah.
But what I've really been getting into is, like, The Game.
And he
like,
got some bars, though. Like, if you really listen to his music,
Yeah, and the reason I say that, I watched a podcast with him. And he was talking, and I was like, I've never really listened to his music. Like, let me listen. And The Doctor's Advocate, I think, is one of his later albums, like, after he left Aftermath. And he was like, I'm a Kobe fan. And he was like saying that Kobe was like, that was Kobe's favorite album. So I was like, let me go listen to it.
Yeah, so
let me go listen to it. And I like it. And then Nipsey Hussle, he's not old, obviously, but, you know, and I didn't want to listen to him at first because it was like he died.
Yeah.
And then that, like, that's the reason.
So that's what it's crazy that you say that because my wife, she's a Nipsey Hussle fan. Like, she loved Nipsey. And so, like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like, I once he passed away, like, I went and listened to it because I never listened to him.
Yeah.
But some of the songs I heard, I'm like, oh, okay, I have heard this. You know what I'm saying? So I feel bad that I wasn't in tune with Nip before because he speaks real stuff. Like, like when you think of Tupac and all that,
Nip's
I think
right
Nip.
there.
I think Nip. I think like J. Cole, like just what Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z.
Life.
They just talk about real life, and so. Some of the stuff, like some of these, you know, newer generation kids, they don't like J. Cole. I don't know how they don't like Jay-Z because their talk is different.
Yeah.
So they talking about how you gonna create generational wealth for your grandkids.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't really listen to those things.
They hear it, it's like, I don't really want to hear that. Like, I want to go party. Like, and see, that's why I kind of got like an old mind and old soul to like music. Like, I like older music. Like, I wish, like, 2000 R&B, like, that's me. Like, that's me. I could sit and listen to 2000 R&B all day and it won't change. But like you said, like, Nip, man, like, I hate that, like, now I'm a fan because he's gone. Like, not because he's gone, but now that he's gone. But I think also that it plays a role. I have a bunch of Cali friends, and they said that he did a lot, like, within Cali, and then, like, he didn't really try to put his stuff on, like, the radio and try to be big name and stuff like that. It was kind of more of just a Cali thing and things of that nature. But that's Nip is really high up on my list right now. Every day, like, especially working out. Like, man, he's got some songs, man. It's just like,
Nip is.
Man, I wish I would have knew this before.
Nip is that guy.
And then the new one I'm gonna implement now is I like to eat. So favorite food, favorite restaurant.
Man, so that's huge, man. I like pasta. So, you know, my wife, Olive Garden is one of our favorite spots to go to. But when it's come to like barbecue and stuff like that, we go to Honey Fire Barbecue.
Where's that at?
It's right there in Bellevue, right there in Bellevue 1, the new shopping area by the right beside the movie theater. So
okay.
So it's literally right beside it, man. It's a nice little spot. Take your girl down there and all that, man. And, Martin's Barbecue. I actually work with the owner of that restaurant, man. So Martin's Barbecue. Have you ever had In-N-Out before?
Yeah.
I don't really like In-N-Out, so you need to go to Hugh Baby's. It's a place called Hugh Baby's, man, on Charlotte Pike. Yeah, I said it here, man. I don't really like In-N-Out. I think I was just the hype because I was in Oklahoma. So
it is a lot of hype
it's
between
a lot
that
of hype.
and Whataburger.
Oh yeah, I got played out at Whataburger when I went to Florida. So you love it.
I went to Texas last summer.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that was open.
Yeah.
So I ate there like three nights in a row.
Oh, snap.
It was good. I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Don't get me wrong, but I got played out with that pretty quick. But In-N-Out, the hype was up there, and the line was actually the first one I went to. The line was too dang long, so I didn't do nothing. But yeah, Hugh Baby's, man. So yeah, barbecue, pasta. Yeah. That's kind of what I really adapt to.
Okay. Yeah. So you are you big into like healthy? I'm not gonna say healthy, but like the right type of food, or do you just eat whatever?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just eat. I just eat whatever. I try to I love sweets, but I try to stay away from sweets a lot. You know what I'm saying? But man, my wife, she knows my weed spots like M&M's, so she'll bring some M&M's from work.
The peanut.
Peanut.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So she bring that, and I actually got a bag in my car. I'm gonna smash them. But what I do is, man, I eat, but I work out 6 days a week. So I try to stay active as much as possible.
For sure.
So, but yeah, man, that's my thing.
I've been kind of more since I've been home on the healthier side. So a lot of protein. You know, carrots, like all my veggies, all that stuff. Yeah. But we just had the 4th.
Oh, you eating? You gonna eat?
Come on, man.
I
was I had to I ain't eat like how I wanted to, but I was like, look, today it's gonna have to.
I feel it, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, I believe that's the end of episode.
Let me shout out real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Upnexttraining, it's my skill training development. That I'm starting up, man. Speed, agility, explosiveness, plyometrics, and all that. So we're doing that. I train kids from literally 7, 8 years old and up. So want to do that just to kind of give back. And so if you guys want to do that, reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, anything. And so we'll make it work.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the link to the Scholar Rose Foundation in the description. Is there a website for that?
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Send that to me. I'll put that in the description as well. If you're in Nashville, you know, we're really close to Kentucky, so a few Kentucky spots.
Yeah.
You know, if you're close by, reach out. You know, get that work in.
Yep.
I believe this is episode 3. Yeah, episode 3.
Got me through thick and thin. The reason why I'm up now, can never go back down. Been through the same road. Maple Avenue, memories full of gold. Untold, my brother's untold. Yeah, he did more love, you don't know. Always can hit me, I miss you, bro. Hit me up. Move on, nigga, on the go. I ain't never gonna forget that. Was he on jet